Jai Opetaia is set to fight Claudio Squeo on May 13th, defending his IBF cruiserweight title. Now, most hardcore fans were disappointed by this opponent choice, as Claudio is a fairly unknown cruiserweight without any signature wins for him to be up for a title shot now. Squeo isn't even Australian, so they can't even promote this fight as a domestic matchup like Opetaia vs Nika. The reason why this fight between Jai and Claudio is taking place is because the other title holders at cruiserweight already have mandatory fights locked in, and Eddie Hearn wants to keep Jai busy and active. Fair enough, I think that's a smart approach for Opetaia's career, but fucking hell, this is still an incredibly bad title defense. Now, cruiserweight is a notoriously shallow division, so much so to where I think picking any opponent in the top 10, barring the champions, will be met with some level of scrutiny. Most of the top 10 cruiserweights are over 35, and Jai would run rings around all of them. He's incredibly skilled as a boxer, and more importantly, he's the powerful young lion who's eager to take every cruiserweight belt. Although cruiserweight is a weak division, getting Jai a fight with someone like Claudio Squeo still isn't a good look. And it's clear that Jai wants to be undisputed cruiserweight champion and beat the likes of Ramirez and Badou Jack. But the division is gridlocked right now, and there's nothing he can do about it until Ramirez and Badou both face their mandatory challenges. Claudio Squeo is a disappointing opponent. I'm not trying to dispute that, and even though I'm usually critical of champions not fighting other champions in their weight class during this 4-belt era, Jai Opetaia is just biding his time until a unification bout comes to fruition. Is he just meant to sit on the sidelines waiting for Zurdo and Badou Jack to maybe beat their mandatories? No, of course not. It's good that he's busy, the opponent choice could have been better, but that's up to his promoters and not up to Jai himself. I also don't doubt that a lot of cruiserweights probably don't want to face Jai. Chris Smith would have been a solid defense for Opetaia actually, but he already lost to Zurdo and has been ducking Opetaia for years, so again, Jai is really not the one to blame here. If there's a silver lining I can draw from all this, the Opetaia vs Squeo card is just a part of the DAZN subscription and not a pay-per-view. That would be fucking outrageous if it was. Of course, his promoter should have picked a better suited opponent, maybe one that's Australian so it piques local fan interest, but at least Jai has been honest about his opponent choice and fight promotion. He said this regarding his opponents: he's a little bomber that comes forward, nothing special, and it's just another day in the office. Jai Opetaia of all fighters doesn't seem like the type of guy to bullshit his fans and sell them snake oil. He is actively chasing undisputed status, and I'm sure he'll attain it at some point in cruiserweight. Jai is without a doubt the most talented champion we have in the cruiserweight division at the moment, and this may be a controversial take, but I think he takes care of Zurdo easily. I might be biased because Jai Opetaia is Australian, as I am, and I'd love to see an Aussie undisputed champion, but I don't see Ramirez as a really tough matchup for Jai. If you take a look at Zurdo's last fight with Chris Smith, the latter was kinda piecing him up in the first opening rounds, and it's not until Chris gassed out and dropped the volume where Zurdo then found a lot of success. Even then, he was just walking forward like a zombie and winging punches. Now, he can move well in spots, but then there's a cutoff point where he gets way too labored with his movement and can get clipped, especially by a boxer like Jai Opetaia. I predict that Jai will be far too technical for him and Zurdo will be outboxed until the 8th or 9th round, then Jai will stop him. Fans have talked about Ramirez's inside game, but it's like, did you also see Opetaia vs David Nika? Jai knows how to dog it out as well, and skill-wise he's just on another level. Not to mention Jai's ability to knock out decently sized cruiserweights. He's done it before, and with Ramirez, he'll do it again, and stop him. I think Jai will hunt down a fight with Ramirez for October or December this year, and then I hope he grabs the 4th and final belt in early 2026. Jai Opetaia's mission at cruiserweight is to unify the division. It's not necessarily about beating the best names, because there's no one that has really stepped up and looked super formidable besides him. Yes, Ramirez is a decent champion, and you could argue he has a better strength of schedule than Opetaia, fighting Bivol at light heavyweight, and of course beating Chris Smith, but like I said, that point is arguable. Opetaia beat Bradis twice, and although he was older in his fight with Jai and no doubt over the hill, he was also still the man who gave Usyk his toughest pro bout to date. Ramirez is good, but he's just another guy in Jai's way. He's the guy with the belts. It's not like Jai's looking at the name and going, oh shit, I have to fight him. He's looking for belts, first and foremost, and that's a byproduct of the weight class being weak. The problem with Jai Opetaia is that he's too good, and the other belt holders might not want a piece of him. Let's say Badou Jack gets through his mandatory in May. At 41 fucking years old, do you think he wants to put it all on the line against Jai Opetaia? Compared to Badou Jack, Jai will be lightning fast and will dispatch him very quickly. He'll make Badou Jack look ancient in there, along with the other cruiserweights above the age of 35, which to be fair, is most of the roster. As for Ramirez vs Opetaia, Zurdo seems down to fight him. They're only 4 years apart in age, but like I said earlier, Opetaia will stop him. Coupled with the lack of true threats in the division and the fact that Jai is technically better than every other world title contender, the cruiserweight division really isn't in a good place at the moment. I like Jai Opetaia, but I'm really looking forward to the next 5 years when the Vidal Rileys eventually rise up the ranks. We need more proper talented young fighters to make the division more lively these days. It's a lonely spot for Jai at the moment, being the only truly outstanding cruiserweight. After Jai clears out the current cruiserweight roster, he'll have his eyes set on heavyweights, and one boxer in particular, Alexander Usyk. A fight between both of them would be perfect, and wrap up Usyk's career in a very poetic way. Usyk started his pro career at cruiserweights, became undisputed, then did the exact same thing at heavyweights. If he can finish his boxing journey fighting a career cruiserweight in Jai who also came up to heavyweight, that would be so cool to watch. No matter who the winner is, it would be a perfect passing of the torch. Not to mention, there are quite a few similarities between Jai Opetaia and Usyk's game. They're both southpaws, they both pour out the jab and then circle it out, and if you watch them two side by side, they have certain moves they do inside the ring that look pretty much identical. I think Jai Opetaia vs Usyk is a perfect fight for both guys, and although Usyk is unbeatable in my opinion, Opetaia does have a style that could disrupt Usyk more compared to other heavyweights out there. Overall, Jai Opetaia's career and him taking on less than stellar opposition recently has just been a byproduct of the state of his weight class. Cruiserweight has always been one of the more lackluster divisions, even when it had great fighters such as Holyfield, Usyk, and now Jai Opetaia. Make no mistake, Opetaia seems like the type of guy who wants to fight every other week. I mean, look at the dude's eyes, man, he means business. But the other champions have mandatory opponents, and we've just gotta wait for those fights to take place. I hope Jai gets to unify someday soon, that would be great for Australian boxing, and he deserves to because he is truly so skilled for the cruiserweight division. And that might be the reason why he's not getting these unification bouts. Boxers are running from Opetaia, man. I'll catch you down the road.